Matt, thanks for setting the bar a little too high for top. But that was incredible. Um, for those that don't know me, I'm Michael Roberts, and I'm blessed to be Scott's oldest lifelong friend. I'm not wearing my sunglasses to hide his beard and foot. First, the Shannon, Maya, Kenzie, Big Jacob, Todd, Mr. Rowland, Ms. Terry, Mr. Deb, Mr. Joe. I know it has been over 9 months, and it's one of those times in life where there are no words available to heal and wipe away the pain. But your heart should all be full of pride and love for the man, husband, father, brother, and son who are here to celebrate today. He's a beautiful man. As a man, Scott enjoys music, his cars, and was a jack of all trades handyman. He was an avid Baltimore sports fan. To be honest, I was kind of hoping he would help the Orioles a little bit more this year, but maybe next year. But as Matt alluded to, his true passion in life revolved around his family, his beautiful wife and children. He took great pride in Shannon and the life they had built together. Every conversation we had, he always brought up how hard Shannon worked for the family and how he was always worried about her stress. He cherished his role as a stay-at-home dad, a role very few men could fill the way he did. One of the biggest blessings of my life turned out to be when Mom and Dad sold a white rancher on 1904-6 Spring Hill Lane to Mr. Rowland and Miss Suzette. At the time, no one could have envisioned the impact that the family and the yet to be born oldest son would have on our entire family. We were born 6 weeks apart, grew up 100 yards from each other. He became family to all of us. He became my brother, lifelong best friend. As my brother Mark said after Scott passed, he was one of us. To this day, my parents also beam with pride at the man he became, the life he and Shannon had built. I look back and have so many amazing memories of Scott and I when we were growing up, from playing soccer, baseball, video games, swimming, both at our above-ground pools prior to the Schaefer Resort being built. But as an aside, soccer stopped in the front yard. One Todd got his cowboy boots and always wanted to kick us in the shins in soccer games. I always remember going up to Scott's to watch the big wrestling WWF pay-per-view because we didn't have cable. We did everything together. We were always together. We never fought. We never argued. Same Little League team, same travel soccer team. We went to the 8th grade dance together, prom together. Not together, but not that there's anything wrong with that. Graduation, senior week, moments that define you. We were together. We both had brothers we adored most of the time. We went to our first concert together, Spin Doctors up at Hershey Park in June of 1993. Due to a slight mishap in the mosh pit, the mosh pit at the Spin Doctors concert doesn't sound right when I say it out loud. Scott was unable to go to our second concert the following evening. We both got married the same year. We were in each other's weddings. We both married beautiful, strong women that were out of our league. We both have intelligent, beautiful daughters, and each of us has one strong, better-looking son that will undoubtedly look after their sister and moms. I remember like it was yesterday, every time I ran up to his house as a kid, through the backyard, racing across the stone steps, into the covered porch. I would knock on the sliding glass door. Scott would always be parked in this one corner spot on that brown couch with the yellow and white checkers. So, and he had a habit of zoning out watching his show, so unless Mr. Rowland or Todd came to the door, I had to let myself in. Well, he wasn't exactly the best attack dog back in the day. Scott taught me it was okay to give my room to push off the couch every once in a while. In middle school back in the day, I remember being at the bus stop at the top of Spring Hill Lane. It was the first warm day of spring, and I had decided to break out a nice pair of corduroy Ocean Pacific shorts. I don't know if they were OP, they probably weren't. Scott walked up to the bus stop in his standard Bugle Boy pants. He was always the best dresser of any of my friends, at least for a Carroll County kid. He took one look at me and said, "I'll be back, I forgot something." 6 minutes later, he strolls back up in shorts up to the bus stop. All I could do was smile. This was our relationship. Even though I was 6 weeks old, I always felt like an older brother. I had an instinct to look after him from birth. Probably more ego on my part than him actually needing anyone to look after him, but I always held that responsibility and tried to take care of him. He taught me humility. As a freshman, without ever having played organized basketball, as you count our driveway, Scott tried out for our high school freshman team. He had this unique set shot release, but the shot would go in with good regularity. Mr. Palsnart, the soccer coach, was also the freshman hoops coach. He pulled me aside, knowing that we were close friends. He told me Scott was going to be one of the last cuts, but in typical Palston fashion, he groaned a few times and goes, "Roberts, that kid's got heart." Scott was never fearful of trying something new and going for it. Scott taught me how to persevere. He didn't care what others may think. He was true to himself. He lived. In high school, Scott started working pretty early on at both Sausage Plus at the mall and helping out his Uncle Tom at the mansion on weekends. This allowed him to save up some good money to buy his first car before anyone our age. I remember him driving up our driveway to show Dad and I his 1980 gray hatchback Civic, and he was just beaming ear to ear. It literally looked like a gray baseball hat. It wasn't much larger than a roller skate. But he surely tested the laws of physics on the pig farm road in that car. Looking back, I'm sure it went fast. I'm not sure that it went faster than 37, but with the windows down and Van Halen or Poison or LL Cool J Plankton and Dave Decker felt like 90. So this oversized roller skate was the beginning of Scott's car obsession. He taught me you didn't have to drive 90 to feel like you were king of the road. When I was 21, I was home on winter break from school and we were working at Wise together. One day my 1988 gray Camaro, shocker, I had a Camaro, got stolen while we were working during the day. There were probably 4,000 people that lived in Hampstead in the late 90s, and I think Mom knew 3,998. Yet, not surprisingly, Scott was the one that actually ended up finding my car before the authorities, and he also found out who stole the car. He also successfully talked me out of trying to go after the kid. Scott taught me about dedication. I miss how every time he left a message or sent me a text, it was "give me a buzz." I don't know anyone else that says that. I miss how he always referred to me as Bud and to himself as Little Buddy. I miss how he never, ever missed giving me a call on my birthday. I'm 46 years old. I've met thousands of people around the world, but I don't think I've met a man as true, real, and genuine as Scott. His selflessness, and pure heart is so rare in today's world. He was always eager to help everyone, as Matt alluded to. He was always eager to talk to everyone, and then talk some more. He had this unique ability to make people smile and feel loved in his presence. Like everyone, I'm sure he had them, but I struggle to remember him having bad days or being in a bad mood. It didn't matter where I was or how long I was gone. Every time I came home and got to see him, it felt like it was 1985 again. It didn't matter how awful I was at keeping in touch at times or calling back, and everyone knows I can be pretty bad. He was always there. He was like a son, the blonde one to my parents, and his calls and visits into his adult years filled their hearts with love and happiness. Anytime he saw my grandmother or aunt at Wise or around town, he made them feel like the most important person on earth. He would always go out of his way to help my wife Erin with her home repair or home improvement efforts. I remember one year during the Super Bowl, yes, during the actual game, she was trying to fix an issue with our dryer, and maybe it was a washer, I don't really remember. Through the wonderful world of social media, Scott found out, and he reached out to help troubleshoot, yes, during the game, and I just stayed on the couch eating chips and cheese dip. When I left to go back to college back in 1995, Scott handed me this photo of the two of us. And I'm sure anybody over 15 probably can't see it. But we do have hair, and it looks great. On the back of the picture, he wrote me a note. "Mike, here's a little photo. Thanks for putting up with me. I know I'm nuts. I'll come down and visit, I promise. I don't know what my future has in store, but I know you'll always be there. Your loving Little Buddy, Scott." And then he wrote, "Kid, keep in touch." That's Scott. What we used to write in elementary school. But back to the note, the truth was Scott was the one that was always there for me. He was there for my family. He was there for everyone. We always had a special, unique brother-like bond from childhood and knew that age, time, and distance wouldn't change it. When something like this happens to a dear friend, it breaks a part of you. As I'm sure everyone in this room has done, I internally wrestle and struggle with the why. After 390 days since he told me he was sick, I still don't understand or have any good answers. The only thing I come back to is to use his example and memory as a reminder to try to be a better man, a better friend, a better husband, a better father. Strive and at least aim for the bar that he set for me, for all of us. He was a big Jimmy Buffett fan, so I'll close with one of his lyrics. It takes no more time to see the good side of life than the bad. I think this sums up Scott and how he viewed life, how he treated everyone. So I pray that his memory can also help everyone that knew him to focus on the good and positive in everything and everyone. This is how he lived.